Y'all. So there's this I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna start by reading this, which is what I usually don't do. I'm gonna start by reading this and then go from there. So a guy posts, I believe this is Threads. He says, "If my wife is in labor and something goes wrong, please save my wife, not the baby. I don't know that guy from anywhere." Now, obviously, he's making a joke about it. I'm not going to be too nitpicky about that, but basically, if you can comprehend, you can see that what he's simply saying is, we can make another baby. I'm going to choose, my wife, and regardless of who you save in that situation, I really that's to me that's just you have to make somebody's got to die, right? So you're just making a decision at that point. I don't think you can hold somebody to a right or wrong when it comes to that specifically. Now, what I'll go to what me and this lady's having a back and forth about, kind of like right now. So she's probably going to at me again, but I likely won't read it. But she says, "This is so weird. I don't know if it's an American thing, but the protocol is to save the mother. We don't ask the father to pick anyone because we don't care and it's not his choice. The protocol says save the mother, and that's what we do." Now, I'm not sure if this is a joke account because that profile picture, but I'm still running with the idea, okay? I said, he's the next of kin. It's his choice. Now, this is me just going on the philosophy about the situation, but whatever country this person is in, they actually could be right that they don't give a damn about anything. They're going to ignore that and go to protocol. We'll get to that later. So they respond with, "Not his choice at all. We never ask the father. We follow the protocol. We don't care about their kin and all that crap." And I said, family matters. To assume someone wouldn't want that, wouldn't want that because of your propaganda is trash. Now here's why I say that. To have a law or a protocol in place that would completely dismiss the next of kin, or in this case, the father, simply because you don't want a woman's choice or rights to be trampled over, you actually are doing the opposite. Because there are some people, or in this case, women, who would say, "I don't want my baby to die. I'd rather you save the baby and like me fight for my life, but I don't want the baby to die." Some. To take that choice away, you're actually trampling over the rights of the person who you claim you're trying to protect. This is where something goes so far it actually slaps itself in the face. Because you want to push a propaganda piece, you said, "Fuck this person's right, that person's right." Nope. We don't care if we want their baby safe. We're going to do this. People, in this situation, somebody is going to die. Period. That's the concept here. You can only save one. Maybe the other will live. Maybe. Maybe. You put the priority on one or the other. No right or wrong. Now, here's the thing that really stood out and that annoyed me. So, we're saying in a situation where something goes wrong, and we don't think that with this person's philosophy, we don't think that the mother should ever have to save their child, ever have to sacrifice or be sacrificed for their child. I refuse to say okay to that, but then also at the same time, if something goes wrong, example, a house fire, I gotta be like, I'm going to get my kids. Fuck that. You don't have to go through the actual process of birthing them or be sacrificial in any kind of way on your end. But I gotta go back into the fire. I gotta go back into the traffic and save the kid. I have to be sacrificial. When you go so far this way, you cause a pushback of, yeah, you know what? I don't give a fuck about common sense either. I don't give a fuck about protocol. Social protocol, nope, I don't give a fuck about none of it. I'm saving me. So now that you've shown that you're going to the point to where you're not just advocating for people's rights, or in this case, women's rights, mothers' rights, you're actually just all the way to the point where you're saying, "Fuck everything else and anybody else. We're going this, and this is all that matters." you're going to get a lot of, as you see today, a lot of fathers who are like, yeah, no, I'm about me. Fuck that. Hell no. So that's a very, very, very like all the bickering. Like people want to do this back and forth and shit. You don't realize you're not making anything better because you're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to say, okay, but this, that, and that. You're only going to make things worse. Look at what's going on right now. Nobody actually wants to fix a damn thing. Nobody. So we're gonna go through these comments since we're here. I'm not sure what they say. That's the first one I saw, and we start going back and forth. But let's look at the rest of them. Save the factory, not the product, because without the factory, you won't be able to produce anything. But most of the time, the doctors don't give you that option. They always try to save the mother first because the baby has a higher chance of surviving if the mother survives. I don't know that stat. And again, I'm probably not going to say this again. I'm probably going to say it this final time. Again, there is no right or wrong in this scenario. I'm just pushing back against this propaganda of no, you don't. Not only do you absolutely go protocol and ignore the mother, but you also get to just ignore the fact that the father's there and maybe they have an agreement of what they're going to do in that situation. What? That's what I'm pushing back against. Not that you have to save the baby. No, somebody gotta die. That's a shitty choice regardless. You expect, like, especially hypothetically, you expecting your first kid together, and it's like, oh shit went wrong. Well, I guess the baby, like we're joking about it now, but real talk, are you gonna be joking then? Because if you do, that's, oh shit, okay, all right, but that just seems a little fucked up to me if you joke then. But I don't think you would. Again, one last time, it's a shitty choice. I'm not harping on that. This is a selfish narcissist. I don't know who they're talking about. Maybe the dude. I don't know how that would make him a narcissist. I know he said he joked about it, but I don't. He didn't say I need her here for me because I'm about to use that box again. He just said save her because we can make, like, again, that reference is dehumanizes the baby, but whatever. Like, we dehumanize people willingly, so it doesn't matter. If anyone thinks any different, there's something wrong with you. Always save the mother. Again, this bullshit. It got to be something wrong with me because I might be in that situation and go, I might have an emotional break, right? Let's say me and the mom has something down, like agreed upon, down pat, right? Save her, not the baby. Your emotions do kick and tack and go when you see that, like the possibility that baby's coming through. You might have that reaction of, no, say the baby. Like in that moment, you might fuck up and do that and make that decision, right? Now I know her or people like in this comment section, we're gonna go, and that's why you don't. No, you still, those people who come to that agreement, they have that right to come to that agreement. Again, to pretend like this isn't a shitty choice, my God, it is. Stop it. So good to see someone put the living first. Oh my God, dude. Okay. It wouldn't be a pregnancy if the baby wasn't living. See, and this is what I'm talking about. You're so far on one side, they're making somebody like me, who's not a pro-lifer. I am by like nature a pro-choicer. But when you come with this type of bullshit rhetoric, I can't rock with it. The baby is a living thing. It's a living thing. You don't like the idea because it means you have to admit to killing something. Somebody's got to die. But it is a living thing. I think this person said that here. A baby in the process of being born is living, Goofy. If he saves the baby over me, I'll come back to hunt his ass forever. Again, don't ask me to go through that fire if this is our what we believe in. Do not ask me to do not ask me. And this is one of the reasons why forming relationships is really difficult now. One of the reasons. Because when people are so far one way and there's nothing they're willing to talk about, or they're so self like in their self, now you can't even have this conversation. Because I guarantee you, if you sit any woman down and she says, "Save, you better fucking save me. I don't give a fuck." And you bring up the idea of, okay, if one of y'all needs saving versus me, I either burn your house. Should I just get the fuck out of there? Because I can always find a new chick and make a new baby. With the logic, remember? I can always do that. So should I always just save myself? Do you see where this type of thinking can get you? As opposed to being rational adults? My husband will save the baby, especially since I asked him to. Now let's see how they respond to her. That's a woman, Christina, who said that. Let's see how they respond to her. Your priorities are backwards. See, that's that. Anytime people try to be so groupist about something like women or black people or whoever the fuck, if they don't rock with what you say, you don't rock with exactly they say, they will like drop you like a bad habit. All of a sudden, you don't mean anything, right? Women, women, women. But as soon as a woman says, "No, I actually think the other way," oh, bitch, fuck you. That then it's okay to say something like that and dismiss this woman, right? Then it's okay. Um, this person says, "Well, he must love you way more than I ever loved someone to fulfill your wishes, even if it means death. I'd happily disappoint my girlfriend and get her saved, even if that means she hates me for the rest of her life." Okay. That situation literally never happens. It's a fake hypothetical situation that is made for fear mongering. Secondly, ask your wife about 5 to 7 months of the pregnancy what she would want you to do. Then do that. Don't do what you want. It really does. Okay, so here's the problem. I think what they mean by it rarely happens is really do you have to choose between life or death between the mother and the baby? But the problem is we still bring it up as if it happens every fucking day. So we cannot get to this point and go, "Oh, it rarely happens." Well, when it does happen, what do you do? That's still worth the conversation. So this is a very moot point. Very moot point. While this is an interesting conversation to have from a philosophical standpoint, I need people to understand that in reality, this is an extremely rare scenario. Realistically, this is not a choice you will ever have to make. Again, okay. So should this ever be considered when talking about abortion laws? Ever? Because if this rarely ever happens, so we can just dismiss the concept, why do we have to listen to somebody bring it up when they say, "Oh, we need abortion because of this"? Scrubs had an episode about this forever ago, and it baffled me even then. Like, it's pretty damn obvious what the choice should be made. No, it's not, dude. Age-old moral question. If you choose the wifey, you're more logical. If you choose the baby, you're more emotional. Supposedly, that's what they say. You can make more kids with wife, or the child is a part of you. Versus, so you have to save them. Okay, all right. I'm gonna speak. That seems like the last of it. This I'm gonna speak to this very last comment here. The you can make more kids with your wife. That's a maybe. Like I know that's like the default thought of it, but think about that experience. She could come out of there and say, actually, I'm gonna leave. Really, I just after this emotional, psychological state, I really just don't want to be around you at all. Uh, I don't want this memory of us anymore because the baby's not here. So you don't have either one of us, nigga. So good luck with that. Like, like this situation, it's not a guarantee. by any means, even though we address it as that. You just make another one. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, so I guess what do y'all say to this? Is it too rare to give a fuck? Or do we actually have to have a conversation of should this just be straight up protocol, which I think is wrong for the state to do? Or should the next of kin, meaning the father, or if they're not married, I guess her parents make the choice, which I forgot to touch on this, so let's do that now. If she's not married, does the protocol then move to the parents? Whoever that parent is. Like that, like it gets tricky. Like that's one more danger of dismissing this so willy nilly. You have no clue of like the different types of gray areas that could come about with this. Now I know you can't cover all of them, obviously, but you cover as many as you can, and I think that's one of the especially with people not getting married today. Like, you end up in a sticky situation. So again, put it in the comment section. Be right, not positive. I'm out.